Thank you. Thank you for inviting us today, and thank you to Network Innovation, our partner in Sweden. So I'm very pleased today to talk to you about DAM and the way it's bringing transformation inside the market today. So first of all, let me give you a short introduction about my presentation today, as there will be a few update or information about Dalim. I don't know if everybody of you know about us. I will talk a little bit about the changing world, what's make company changing their way of producing today, and then we will focus a little bit further to a case with a studio that we have in New York, a creative agency working for some of the biggest brands in the world. So now let's start with Dalim Software. So Dalim is a German company. Yes? Is that better? Yeah, that better? So sorry. Let me know if you have any issue. So Dalim is a software company. So we are developing software in the heart of Europe. We are close to Strasbourg area, and we are German. We have partners in more than 30 countries. And here in Sweden, our partner is Network Innovation. We have a very active user group, which is called Duo, which is gathering every year. I will give you a few words about it later on. So what we are doing today. So actually we're coming from the print industry, and this is an interesting journey because from this print industry we've been moving to the top, and today we see, due to the way the market is moving, new customers adopting the same kind of tool that printers, than print providers are proposing to the customers. And this is, let's say, not a conflict, this is just the way the market is moving. And what I'm going to explain this is that the same tool that printers are using for automating production, they are also the one that brands are using. And why? We'll see a little bit later on about that. So our business today is really to integrate the global market scope. So from the ideas up to the final print, whatever is printed, could be a packaging, could be a commercial document, could be a flyers, could be a poster, could be whatever you have delivered on the web. So this is actually everything that print provider today and printer are trying to coordinate, and we have seen this morning that with different kind of offer, especially I was thinking about the cloud offer where you have a lot of different kind of document to be printed and to be issued for the market. So let's have a look to the changing world. So you know a little bit about that as a consumer. We can say today this is very strange because from an economic standpoint, we are facing, let's say, a world where there's more stabilization of the economy. Nothing is changing during the last 10 years. That's quite interesting. However, if we look at the world from a global picture, we see that things are never been so unpredictable. So we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And here you have a few pictures about what did happen during the last 12 months. So we don't know what's going to happen with Brexit still today. We don't know what's going to happen with the international relationship. We don't know a lot. And there is also a lot of new technology appearing. We're talking a lot about AI, so artificial intelligence, which is coming to the business, helping us to be more productive. We do have also some new cloud technology which are emerging, not anymore, they are adopted by a wide range of people. We're talking about so many different kind of technology that will change our business already today. We have also the world of conversions. Let's see the scope of the content and technology. A long time ago, when human started, actually, when you wanted to get information, actually, you only had the information of the people living with you, and maybe you had the opportunity during the life to meet some other family somewhere and to learn a little bit more. But this had changed, actually, especially with the Gutenberg time, where we invented the printed process, where it was possible to share more information through books. And with TV and radio, 50 years ago, let's say, it was moving again and again. And today with technology, there's no more barrier between content and technology. Content is technology, technology is content. And this is actually what we are facing on the daily life. One more interesting subject for the market and why we have so big trends in our industry. So we have been moving from, let's say, the artisan time, you know, when you were doing a product, it was really local, very homemade, and you couldn't replicate it, to mass production. And now we are facing this situation where we are starting again to get some very personalized products. So with print on demand, with a lot of customization, where you want to get your own data, your own file, your own logo on what you are printing, and you want to get it this way. So this is the way the market is moving, and to do that, there's some implication on the technical side. So we're moving more to personalization, and the production lengths are shrinking. We also see that retailers are becoming manufacturers, and manufacturers are becoming retailers. So we see it a lot. And why? Because with the web, it's very easy to open a new e-shop and to get e-commerce. There's also some new business model. If you look at Amazon, was a pure player. Today, they open during the last 12 months different shops in the world, and they are becoming a retailer, a real one, with a place to go. Now let's look a little bit to fashion, which is also, let's say, a place where you do have a lot of advertisement, where you have a lot of magazine, where you have a lot of posters to communicate about it. And the big challenge if today, if when you make a shooting, when you have a show, and this is one thing, for example, that Tommy Hilfiger was bringing to the market this year, is that he was doing the show with the drive in Milan, and in the same time he was doing the show, actually the collection was already available for the people, for the consumer, to get access to the production. This is something that was never possible in the past. And how is it possible? It just linked to what we are calling digital transformation. So this slide is quite interesting, especially for us as printer, because we see that a lot of technology is adopted. And technology is actually helping us to bridge the gap between delivering to an end customer and making it happening. So now let's focus and see how it applies to a real case, because this is a lot of facts that I was sharing with you up to now, but how is that working with this Splashfly case? So this is one of our customers in the US. This is a very famous photo studio, very creative agency. They are working from New York, but they have different locations. So some in US, some in Canada, and they are expanding. What are they producing? They are producing photos. They are producing photos that help the customer to sell. So all kind of photos. And they want to get the best photos to be attractive to the end consumer. And this is their task today. And when you look at the customer panel, you get an idea about which kind of photos they are doing. This is hard photos. This is small photo for e-commerce. This is big photo for, let's say, publishing. And this is a wide range of reputed brand theirs. And when the brands go to them, actually, it looks like the market has changed quite a lot. You remember, we were telling about a lot of features with personalization. We were talking about getting, when we do a shooting, we want to get all of those information on the website from Tommy Hilfiger, and in life for them, it just translated in more and more and more and more features. So during the last five years, and this is nothing which is going to change, they do have to produce more and more photos per year. So they had the requirement. Actually, they had some technology already in place, to organize this library of photo of the shooting process, but it was not scaling enough. It was not able actually to find the right picture with the amount of data they had to manage. It was very difficult for them to find the right picture. And also, another very important thing is, of course, if you have the right solution in place, it's very important to get this solution communicating with the other system you have in-house. We've seen this morning with the different API between the system. For them, the big challenge was to get a direct connection with the order system and also with the shooting organization system. So they wanted to streamline all the journey from the customer request up to the final delivery of photos. Now let's have a look to what is a photo shooting, because I'm not sure if some of you have a big picture of what it is. Actually, it's a sample. A sample, it's a collection. It's coming from a collection. Could be a shirt, could be a trousers, could be whatever, jewelry. And for each of those objects, you have to 50 photos which are taken. And of course, when you make a collection, you don't have only one article, you have more of them. So at the end of the day, what is translated for them, it's translated something like around 15,000 pictures per day, 5 to 6 different customers. It's a lot of data. It's a lot of data to ingest, it's a lot of data to organize. And at the end of the day, the customers, they come to them because they know they will be delivering the right information, the right picture with the right quality, but they want to make sure also they get those pictures ready on time to their website for getting the product launch at the right moment. So what they've been have been looking for, this is something that's translated this way. So first of all, they wanted to get a solution where they could centralize all the information. So now I'm very focused on photos, but actually it's not only photos. It's also videos, it's also PDF file, it's all kind of digital asset that can be printed or published on the website. They wanted to get what they're calling a powerful metadata. Let me tell you what is a metadata. A metadata, this is information that you are associating to a photo to make sure that you will be able to find it again. So metadata could be, for example, name of the customer, name of the collection, name of the artistic director who was doing the shooting, name of the models, name of the product inside this file. So you can imagine, depending on the product, depending on the customer profile, that you have tons of metadata to handle. And they wanted to get a very powerful metadata set where they could customize their own set of metadata per customer, per job, per the different kind of requirement they had. They wanted to get workflow automation. I will talk a little bit further about what is workflow automation into a photo studio later on. They wanted also, of course, to integrate with the existing system, and they wanted also to get a technology to scale. You remember they have one location, and they were expanding to some other location in Miami and also in Canada. So they wanted to get something that could scale. And they made a survey, and it looks like the Darling technology, the ESDAM, was fulfilling the requirements. So let's now have a little bit more information and insight about what it's providing to them. So first of all, this is a web portal. So a web portal, very standard where you don't need to install anything on your client computer, just working through a regular web browser. Of course, with security, password, and so on, depending on your rights. When they are doing photo shooting, let's assume photo shooting is done, they're collecting all the data, they are able to set up their own metadata set. So the one I was describing to you with some information about the product, some information about the shoot. Is it a profile? Is it a face? Is it a color, a special color for the shooting? They are collecting all this information along the workflow. So of course it's starting from the photo shooting, but during the photo process you have different steps. So from, for example, 50 shoots, you may only select a few pictures of the 50 shoots. You will also rate them with a start, and this one, it looks like this is the best photo for this kind of production or this kind of result. They have also some post-production process with retouching, so they wanted to get some specific retouching on the photo. And this is all the workflow they were getting, and each time they're doing some step in the workflow, they want also to enrich those metadata, telling, oh, it looks like this photo was used at that moment and is really bringing a very good result. Of course, with the metadata, the most important actually, putting metadata inside the system is good, but the metadata purpose is definitely to be able to find very easily the pictures, the photos library you're looking for. So if you have customers and they are just looking for a very specific photo, so either they pinpoint the name of the collection, or they pinpoint the name of the model, or they pinpoint the date. They should be able to find this information in a very efficient way, and also to get a filtered result. So this is also what they wanted, and this is the key actually of the DAM system. The search based on the metadata has to be very efficient. If you get 1,000 results for one search, it's useless. You don't get your file. So you have to get this. And this is actually what they've been able to implement with the system. And they are also able to set up different kind of view depending on the profile of people. For example, you can filter them, but you can get also the workflow. So let's now focus on the workflow. The workflow, it has to be simple. But in fact, this is never very simple. It has to be able to reproduce the different kind of steps they have into the process. It has also to include some specific requirement, like checking the quality of the file or managing revision cycle, also getting some markup. In Photo Studio, the workflow is this one. So this is a generic one, so it's probably a little bit different from one side to the other, but the first step is a photo capture. The second one, this is a production where you are retouching the picture, where you are masking, where you are doing all those kind of things. And the last step, this is a distribution sent to the website, printing site, publishers, and so on. And how it translates for them. I told you a workflow is quite simple, quite linear, but the workflow above actually is something like that, where you have different branches, where you have different conditions, and those conditions are pending on the process you have implemented with your customer. So maybe with one customer, you would like to check the photo at some very early stage under some conditions. So you don't go further. Is this department didn't check the photo? So could be marketing department, but could be also legal department. And of course, depending on the customer profile, it's always a different workflow. More or less the same, but there's always some variation. So they wanted to be able to set up their own workflow, to be able to be very flexible and to adapt to any kind of demand. And of course, when you look now on the way it's implemented, so they have set up their own milestone. Depending on the milestone, they know when the shooting is done. And everybody in the life cycle of the picture, they know exactly where the files are, how they can find them, and what are the next steps. This is one view of looking at this information. Maybe if I am the art director, I just want to check which photo I have to review today to make sure that they are ready, which one are still in post-production, which one have to be sent to post-production. So you have some way to check this information using some color bars. And each time you go to a photo, you always get the ID card of these photos to understand what it is for which kind of usage you can get it, and so on. Another view, and this one is a view which is very familiar to the art director. You know, they have all those features. Remember, the 15,000 pictures, they have to go very fast to pick up the one that they want to keep as such, the one that they want to retouch, and the one that they don't want to use at all, at least for the moment. And this is just using this view, comparing very quickly things. So this is the kind of automation they wanted to get for the end user, to be very convenient, to be very user-friendly and efficient. Now let's look at the revision cycle. One of the pain points they had with their customers was that it was very difficult to review the quality of the pictures. So most of the time you do a printed copy and then you can appreciate the quality, you can appreciate the colors, but there they had no time. Remember, Tony Finger, he has no time to check if the picture has the right color and so on. It has to be tomorrow on the website. So here they were able to set up an approval cycle where they could review the picture in high resolution and also do some color soft proofing. In the past, this was a totally disconnected workflow, and this is quite often the case where you have to get the photos, you go in Photoshop, then in Photoshop you do your color matching, you verify it's fine, you may want to make a copy proof to check the quality of the pictures, and then you can give you go, or you can give you indication if it has to be retouched or not. So there they were able to set it up into a web interface review the quality through the web in high resolution without any limitation, and of course to get color accuracy through this process. It was for them a big changer. It was improving and streamlining the production cycle a lot with the end customer, who are, remember, they are fashion. They are not technology experts. And when you are talking about color, we are very often talking about technology and color expert. Here, this is just very simple to be deployed. Brands also did appreciate with this system a way to compare the different revision. Of course, when you are talking about revision cycle, you have to compare to check if the change has been done in colors, in content, whatsoever. So here they were able to compare the file and be sure that the production they were expecting, the change that they were expecting was done. Of course, what they were able to apply for pictures, they could also apply it to video. In e-commerce, video are playing a big role and bigger. Today, it's one of the best way to communicate for brands and to be more effective and having a higher conversion rate. Integration, now let's look at the integration part. The integration is for them a two-way. So when they have their order system for the photo shooting, it's most of the time describing the collection, the number of shoots, the number of articles to shoot. It's a very, let's say, administrative system. And this one had to be populated into their shooting system. So here, let's have just a look. Oh, sorry, I was a little bit too fast. Let's have a look to the workflow process. So this is just in production. So it's starting by, let's say, the list of samples to shoot today with the barcode, with all the references and the kind of shooting frames they need to get, up to the post-production. From this system, which is a, let's say, admin system where they are describing of the shooting, they were able to establish a connection, a bidirectional connection through an API, as we have already heard about, and to communicate. So this means this system is, as soon as you have the shooting list, which is into this ordering system, then the jobs are automatically created into the DAM system, where you have the different folders, the different references, and so on already prepared. And when the shooting, the photograph is really doing the shooting, the photos are automatically pushed to the right place and then set available for the next step. So it's fully integrated with, let's say, the tool. So one is a C1 Pro from the shooting standpoint. And last but not least, what's very important in this kind of case, this is to be able to measure your performance. For two reasons. Measuring the performance is, first of all, to verify that you are good with the contract you have today, and also is to improve it. To improve it in two directions, actually. To improve it together with the customers. So to say, you know, we did a shooting last time, each photo was costing 3 revision cycle, maybe we could improve it. Let's have a look how we can improve it. Maybe if we look at the kind of revision you were asking us to do, you could ask us to do it just in one go. So think about that, it's going to cost less time, less money, and we would be more efficient, and we will deliver the end result to you in a very effective way. So this is also the way they are using this way. It's implemented with a so it's based on the Elasticsearch and Kibana, and also some other BI tools that they are deploying. So at the heart of all this information, all this system, you have the ES technology, which is deployed into the cloud. And so if you look at the different achievements, they were able to do some 360 photo shooting. And this is believe me or not, but this is very difficult to make some correction in 360 photo shooting. 360, this is some kind of, you have the model, and you have a turning table, and you're taking a shot each second to make this to make the different shots. So when you pick up one of those photos, it's very difficult actually to make the change without changing all the shooting. They were able to integrate with that tool. They were able to set up some approval cycle based on very specific workflow together with their internal team and also involving the customers. Of course, they were able to put some reporting and to communicate about that. So for them, it helped them to get a better planning, which was key. So they are now ready to embrace more production, to get also some more profitability because there's no gap, everything is streamlined. They are able to handle a huge range of photos with tailored asset package, so where they put their own metadata to help their own customer to find the right file at the right moment. They have been able to get a crystal clear visibility with the customer, so the customer is not coming anymore. When is my shooting going to be finished? It can come into the system, check, and if there's some points which are not clear for him, you know who has to work on it. Is it on the studio side? Is it on the customer side? So it's helping to streamline also the communication with less burden on the top of the studio. And this is also helping the customer to get the right conversion rate for their own business, so to get the right photo for the e-commerce or for the publishing with the right information inside. For future, so now they are currently expanding to an international exposure. So this is a growing business for them. So this system actually has helps them to get the backbone to be able to grow the business. They have also a platform expansion. So when they started, actually, they set up the system in their own division, in their own infrastructure. Since that time, they moved everything to Amazon Cloud, so which is providing much more flexibility to grow and also enables them to grow the system in a very easy way. Yeah, so if you have any question about this workflow, or if you have any question about some specific question about DAM, about the way to apply it to printing sites, I'm there to help you. This is our event, our user event taking place next year in Portugal, in Lisbon. So if you feel you may be interested, don't hesitate to come to our website. We will be more than happy to welcome you there, and you will be able to share with some of our customers' experience.
I would like to open up questions, but since we are now trying to keep on time, it's possible that I will just talk correctly, so we can now for lunch. The next time we meet in this room, we will have past lunch, and then we're going to talk about it and hear side lunch. We want to set a Q&A session. And if you have any questions right now for Isabelle, please put her now or write her later.
Thank you.